Very good morning to one and all. And today we're discussing about yesterday's continuation topic. That is nothing but photovoltaic cell construction working, then followed by other renewable energy sources. And before going to the next content, let me discuss about what is known to be the construction of photovoltaic cell. In our previous class, we have discussed what is known to be a photovoltaic cell or the solar cell. When we are discussing about photovoltaic and the solar cell, it is a combination of N-type and as well as a P-type semiconductor material. In between N-type P-type, we are maintaining a distance that is nothing but 2.5 into 10 power minus 3 centimeters, right? Yesterday we have discussed what is known to be a photovoltaic cell. The photovoltaic cell containing the two types of layers, P-type layer, N-type layer. And the P-type, N-type layer, which is connected with the junction layer, it is known to be the PN junction layer. Then what is happening in the presence of photolight radiation? When the sunlight is focused on the photovoltaic cell, electrons are excited. Electrons are excited from the valency band to the conduction band. So the amount of solar energy is in terms converting into direct electric energy. I'm repeating. The amount of the solar radiation which is converting into electrical energy. The main principle of photovoltaic cell is nothing but photovoltaic cell which is converting solar radiation into direct electric current. In our previous class, we have discussed the advantages and the disadvantages of photovoltaic cell. Now, when we are discussing about the advantages and disadvantages, we are mainly discussing about the advantages because when we are discussing about photovoltaic cell, the photovoltaic cell containing eco-friendly character, right, which is a renewable energy sources. But when we are discussing about a single unit, the single unit containing little amount of energy when compared with that solar thermal power plant which containing n number of photovoltaic cell. Right. Now coming to the today's content, what is known to be that hydropower? I will tell you what is known to be that hydropower. Hydropower is nothing but we can produce electrical energy, we can produce electricity from hydropower, right? Hydropower can be converting into the electrical energy is known to be the hydrostatic power conversion. Now, the question mark is the how we can convert the hydropower into that electrical energy. Hydropower ni electrical energy కింద కన్వర్ట్ చేయడానికి మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే now we would like to keep turbines, right? Just I would like to keep the turbines in the flow of any reservoir or in the flow of any of that rivers and etc. and etc. Then what will happen? Mostly the hydropower generation takes place at the site of reservoirs. Generally hydropower మనం ఎక్కడ జనరేట్ చేస్తామంటే reservoirs తో జనరేట్ చేస్తాం. Okay. The flow of the water containing high amount of the pressure acting pressure on the turbine which can rotate the turbine blade. That means that hydrostatic power is converting into mechanical power and the mechanical energy is sometimes converting into that electrical energy. I'm repeating. When water flows on the turbines, the water containing high pressure, water acting pressure on turbines, when the turbines are rotated, then what will happen? When the hydrostatic power acting pressure on turbine, the amount of that hydrostatic power is converting into the mechanical energy and the mechanical energy in terms converting into that electrical energy. That we see diagrammatically. Right. Now we are discussing about the flow of hydrostatic power. You see this diagram, right? How the hydrostatic power is identified. Hydrostatic power is known to be that renewable source of energies. In the renewable source of energies, now we are taking it is known to be an intake. You see this, it is known to be that intake. The intake is known to be a head pond. The intake is known to be a reservoir. The intake is known to be a river head, right? Now, from the intake, now we are flowing the water. You see this, from the river, now we are flowing the water. The water which is flows on that turbines, you see this, what is known to be turbine? It is known to be turbine, right? Now, and these turbines containing blades, you see here, the turbines which contain the blades, and the blades are continuously rotating. Then what will happen? When water flows on turbine machine, I'm repeating, when water flows on that turbine machine, the amount of the hydrostatic energy, the amount of that hydrostatic energy or hydropower acting pressure on the turbine, hydrostatic energy in terms converting into mechanical, right? The amount of the mechanical energy, then it transfers to the generator generating electrical power. You see this hydrostatic power acting pressure on turbine, hydrostatic power is converting into mechanical, and the mechanical energy in terms converting into that electrical. So the amount of electricity which is produced during the hydropower conversion, that should be stored in the transformer, right? So transformer is known to be a storage unit. You see this simple. జనరల్గా మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే రిజర్వాయర్స్ తీసుకున్నాను, రిజర్వాయర్స్ దగ్గర వాటర్ ఫ్లో ఐడెంటిఫై చేయండి. వాటర్ ఫ్లో కండిషన్లో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, టర్బైన్స్ అరేంజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. నా డ్యూరింగ్ ద ఫ్లో ఆఫ్ ద వాటర్ జస్ట్ యూఆర్ అరేంజింగ్ ద టర్బైన్, water acting pressure on the turbines. You see this turbines are continuously rotated. Rotational energy, the conversion of hydrostatic energy to the rotational energy. Rotational energy is nothing but the mechanical energy. Further, the mechanical energy in terms converting into that electrical energy. Now see this. When we are discussing about hydro plant construction working, hydro plant, when we are using the gravitational force of the fluid water that might be runs on the turbines, which supplies with the electrical generator produce electricity. I'm repeating. The amount of the hydrostatic energy in terms converting into that electrical energy. And this power plant plays an important role to protect our fossil fuels. Yesterday we చెప్పానండి, fossil fuels మనం తీసుకునేటప్పుడు fossil fuels like solid, liquid, gaseous fuels, right? From the solid, liquid, gaseous fuels, we are generating thermal energy. Then there are the two main drawbacks. The first drawback is known to be that conservation of fossil fuels, and the second drawback, what we are saying, is environmental pollution. So when we are discussing about hydrostatic energy is nothing but an eco-friendly character, right? Hydrostatic energy doesn't containing any part of environmental pollutant. Environmental pollution percentage value is equals to 0. Then the next advantage is nothing but now we are using the leftover water available in the reservoir, right? If the reservoir containing excess of water, the excess of water should be flows, right? The excess of water should be flows through the turbine. So now we are using excess of the water for the electricity generation. So hydrostatic energy, what we are saying, as renewable energy sources, where we are converting hydropower is converting into mechanical power is converting into electrical, hydrostatic energy is converting into mechanical energy is converting into that electrical energy based on the principle what we are saying is kinetical energy conversion, right? The amount of that hydrostatic power which is generated in India, the hydropower potential in India is estimated to be 4 into 10 power 11. You see here 4 into 10 power 11 kilowatts per hour. Next, the next continuation we are discussing about that is known to be that geothermal energy. I will tell you what is known to be the geothermal energy. When we are discussing about geothermal energy, you can see this diagram. So diagram, you see this. Now we are taking, you see this. Now it is known to be the earth first layer, right? And it is known to be the earth second layer. Okay. And I'm saying this is known to be the deep in earth crust. Surface of the earth. The first layer of earth containing the groundwater. The second layer of earth containing rock systems, okay, rocks and as well as a mine. Now when we are going to the deep in earth crust, the deep in earth crust containing the mines and as well as the water, right? Now we are seeing, now it is known to be that the deep in earth crust. I'm repeating, it is known to be the deep in the earth crust. Okay, from deep in earth crust we are extracting hot water. Generally మనం earth crust లోపలికి వెళ్తే జాగ్రత్తగా మీరు పైప్స్ తీసుకొని ఎర్త్ క్రస్ట్ లో డ్రిల్ చేయండి. Now when we are going through the deep in earth crust, the deep in earth crust containing the rocks and the rocks containing hot water. I'm repeating, the rocks containing hot water, and these rocks containing thermal energy. Now with the help of pipe, I'm repeating, with the help of a pipe. Now with the help of a pipe, I would like to collect the hot water. Now the earth crust containing very high temperature, I'm repeating, the earth crust containing very high temperature and the earth crust containing the water. Because of the higher temperature which is available in the earth crust, the deep in earth crust, then what will happen? The most of the water that might be available in the form of steam. So the hot water gradually converting into the steam. Just I would like to collecting the steam from the earth crust. Earth crust నుంచి మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే steam ని కలెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి. Same process will be the same. Now we are collecting the steam from the deep in earth crust. What we are saying is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy అంటే ఏం లేదండి. ఎర్త్ క్రస్ట్ నుంచి మనం స్టీమ్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేయడానికి. ద ఎర్త్ క్రస్ట్ కంటైనింగ్ ద హాట్ వాటర్, రైట్? హాట్ వాటర్ కంటిన్యూస్ గా హైయర్ టెంపరేచర్ దగ్గర మనం ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుందంటే ఇనీషియల్ గా వాటర్ కండిషన్ లో ఉంటుందని టెంపరేచర్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుందండి, హాట్ వాటర్ కండిషన్ లో ఉంటుంది. నో వెన్ వీఆర్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టింగ్ ద వాటర్, the hot water is gradually converting into the vapor state. The vaporized water, what we are saying as a steam. I'm repeating. The vaporized water is known to be steam generation. Now, the steam which is extracted from the deep in the earth crust, I'm repeating. The steam what we are extracting from the deep in earth crust, and that should be subjected to the turbine. It should be subjected to the turbine. That means that steam acting pressure on the turbine. When the steam acting pressure on the turbine and these turbines are rotated, I'm repeating, the turbine should be rotated. Simple. The amount of steam energy, the amount of thermal energy in the form of a steam, the steam energy in terms converting into the mechanical, and the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. Mechanical energy in terms converting into electrical. Then after the completion of the process, now I would like to convert the steam, right, with the help of the cooling tower. Just a cooling tower ఉపయోగించున్నాను, and the steam can be converting into the water. మన steam ని water కింద కన్వర్ట్ చేసి మన రెగ్యులర్ యూసేజ్ లో వాడచ్చు. Okay, let me see the process, right? When we are discussing about geothermal energy, it's contained in the following steps. The first step I'm saying is identification of geothermal energy. I'm repeating. Let me tell you what is known to be that, how we are identifying the geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is identified, point malli chepna jaatga vindam. Geothermal energy is identified in the deep in the earth crust. The deep in the earth crust containing mines, the deep in the earth crust containing rocks. I'm repeating. The deep in the earth crust containing rock, and the deep in the earth crust containing mines, and also the deep in the earth crust containing water. The deep in the earth crust containing water. The main difference between is nothing but the deep in the earth crust containing the water, and this water containing the higher temperature. The water which containing high temperature. So we are saying it is known to be the hot water. With the help of the pipe, now we are collecting the hot water. When we are collecting the hot water and the hot water is converted into the steam, when the temperature increases, then what happens? Water is converting into the vaporized state. The vaporized water, what we are saying is a steam. Then now the steam acting pressure on a turbine, steam should be connected to the turbine. Okay, the steam acting pressure to the turbine should be rotated. Amount of thermal energy in terms converting into the mechanical, and the amount of the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. After the completion of the process, the hot steam can be collected with the help of the cooling tower. Cooling is a process where vaporized water is come back to the liquid state. Vaporized water ni మనం లిక్విడ్ స్టేట్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ చేయడానికి మేము ఉపయోగిస్తామండి, కూలింగ్ టవర్స్ ఉపయోగిస్తారు. Now when we are using the cooling tower, then what will happen? The vaporized water is come back to that, the vaporized water is come back to the liquid state, and that should be used for that domestic purpose, cultivation purpose, and etc. and etc. So recharging of the groundwater, again groundwater నుంచి మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నామన్నా హాట్ వాటర్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేస్తారు, అగైన్ గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ రీఛార్జ్ చేయడానికి ఉపయోగిస్తారు. సో ద ప్రాసెస్ వాట్ వీఆర్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్ జియోథర్మల్ ఎనర్జీ. ఓకే, let me see here. Just I would like to discuss what is known to be the geothermal energy. Now, when we were discussing about the geothermal energy is identified from hot rocks present in the inside of the earth. The hot rocks present in the inside of the earth or the earth crust, what we are saying is a geothermal energy, right? Geothermal energy is a conversion of steam energy to that thermal energy to the mechanical, and the mechanical energy to that electrical energy, right? The amount of the energy from the deep in the earth crust, I'm repeating, the amount of the energy which is identified from the deep in the earth crust, which is extracted along with the pipe. Okay, I would like to use the pipe, and the pipes are drilled at the higher pressure. The point గుర్తుంచుకోండి. Now when we are applying the pipe, when you are drilling the pipe in the deep in earth crust, we should apply the higher pressure. At the high pressure condition, now we are drilling the pipe in the deep in earth crust. From the deep in earth crust, we are extracting, I'm repeating, from the deep in the earth crust, we are extracting the geothermal energy, and the geothermal energy, the amount of geothermal energy in terms converting into the mechanical energy in terms converting into that electrical. Let me see the next classification that is known to be that tidal wave power. I will tell you what is known to be the tidal wave power. You see this. The word the tidal wave power is nothing but just I would like to take the seawater, right? It is known to be the seawater. Then what is the difference between the seawater compared with the river water, right? Just that the only difference between a seawater compared with the river water is nothing but you see this river water is always stable. I'm repeating, river water is always stable. But when we are compared with the seawater is always unstable. The seawater containing the high pressure and as well as lower pressure. I'm repeating, the seawater containing high pressure and as well as low pressure. Most of the cases, the seawater, when we are discussing the seawater containing the wave nature, right? You see this, the seawater containing the wave nature. The seawater which contain the wave nature, that means that the seawater containing the tides, the word tide indicating that the flow of seawater. Now, when we are discussing about the flow of the seawater containing high pressure and as well as low pressure. Simple. The flow of the seawater which containing the high pressure followed by the low pressure. Let me tell you what is the difference between high pressure and low pressure. Due to the uneven pressures identified on the sea surface water, ఈ పాయింట్ గుర్తుంచుకోండి మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ చెప్తున్నాను. జనరల్గా మనం సీ సర్ఫేస్ మనం తీసుకుంటే సీ సర్ఫేస్ మీద ప్రెజర్ వాల్యూ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే అన్ఈవెన్ గా ఉంటుందండి. రివర్ సర్ఫేస్ మీద మనం తీసుకుంటే ప్రెజర్ వాల్యూ యూనిఫామ్ గా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, నౌ వెన్ వీఆర్ ఐడెంటిఫైయింగ్ ద ప్రెజర్ ఐడెంటిఫైడ్ ఆన్ ద సీ సర్ఫేసెస్, రైట్? నౌ ద సీ లెవెల్స్, వాట్ వీఆర్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్ the sea level containing the different pressures, right? That might be a high pressure or that might be a low pressure. Because of the high and the low pressure, now we're identifying tides. What we're saying as a tide. A tide is nothing but a flow of a sea water that should be identified with the higher pressure or lower pressure. So when we are seeing the flow of the seawater, the flow of the seawater should be like this. The flow of the seawater should be like this. The flow of the seawater should be like this. The flow of the seawater containing a wave nature and the flow of the seawater containing the high pressure and as well as low pressure, right? Now, just I would like to arrange a turbine. During the flow of the seawater. Now, during the flow of the seawater, when we are arranging a turbine, then what will happen? Then the seawater, when it flows with that higher pressure, it acting pressure to the turbine. Then what will happen? When it is acting pressure to the turbine and the turbine should be rotated. Right? Now the turbine should be rotated in this direction. Okay, next. Now when we are seeing the tidal waves, right? The tidal flows with that higher pressure. Now in this direction I'm saying as a high pressure, and in this direction we are saying as a low pressure. Now when the tide come back to the original position, okay, which flows with the low pressure, and again it acting pressure on the turbine. Again it is acting the pressure on that turbine. So the flow of a turbine, the flow of a tide when you're discussing, I'm repeating, the flow of a tide when we're discussing, the tide is acting pressure on turbines arranged on the seawater, right? The basement containing a turbine. Now you see this, turbines are arranged in between the flow of a seawater. Then what will happen? The flow of the seawater which containing kinetical energy, okay, the kinetical energy in terms converting into the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. Simple. The process what we are saying is tidal wave energy. Simple. Okay, the tidal wave energy, then the tide of a sea containing the high pressure acting pressure on the turbine. Okay, when the pressure is acting on the turbine should be rotated. Tidal wave energy in terms converting into the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. The process what we are saying is the tidal wave energy. Let me see the explanation here. Tidal wave power, also called as tidal energy, it is in the form of hydropower. That converts the energy obtained from the tide. That means the tidal energy which is converting into electrical or it is converting into the mechanical. Okay, tidal wave energy is converting into the mechanical and as well as electrical. Now, tides are more predictable than wind energy and solar energy. జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి, అంటే విండ్ ఎనర్జీని సోలార్ ఎనర్జీ మనం ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేయలేం. ఎందుకు ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేయలేమంటే మనకి జనరల్గా సన్ రేడియేషన్ అనేది ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైంలో మనకి ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుందండి, పర్టికులర్ టైంలో ఉండకపోవచ్చు. విండ్ ఎనర్జీ కూడా సేమ్ దాని మనకి విండ్ ఎక్కువగా ఎప్పుడైతే ఉంటుందో దెన్ వీఆర్ కన్వర్టింగ్ ద విండ్ ప్యానల్స్. విండ్ ఎనర్జీలో మనం ఏం చేస్తారు, జస్ట్ వీఆర్ అరేంజింగ్ విండ్ ప్యానల్. Now when we are arranging the wind panel, the amount of the wind energy is converting into the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. But when we are discussing about tidal wave energy, the tidal wave energy somehow it is known to be fixed. అంటే జనరల్ గా ఒకసారి ఫ్లక్చుయేట్ అయినా కూడా మనం ఎగ్జామిన్ చేయొచ్చు. టైడల్ వేవ్ ఎనర్జీ, ఓకే, ఇట్ ఇస్ ఎ కంటిన్యూస్ ఎనర్జీ, రైట్? సో వీ కెన్ అరేంజ్ ద టర్బైన్స్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్లో ఆఫ్ సీ వాటర్. జనరల్ గా మన ఫ్లో ఆఫ్ సీ వాటర్ లో మన టర్బైన్స్ అరేంజ్ చేస్తే దెన్ వాట్ విల్ ఇట్ హ్యాపెన్స్, రైట్? The amount of the tidal wave energy in terms converting into the mechanical and the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. Actually ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అనేది, ఈ ప్రాసెస్ ని మన ఇండియాలో అంతగా అప్లై చేయట్లేదు, అబ్రాడ్ కంట్రీస్ లో వాడతారు. అబ్రాడ్ కంట్రీస్ లో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే now they are converting the tidal wave energy into that mechanical energy, tidal wave energy to that electrical energy, right? The rest of the process will be the same. Next, the next continuation we are discussing about the last content regarding of non-conventional energy sources or the renewable energy sources, that is known to be that ocean thermal energy conversion. I'm repeating, ocean thermal energy conversion, OETC. Examination when you directly istunnanu jagrata chudam. I will tell you what is known to be that and now we are discussing about the last content regarding of non-conventional energy sources. Non-conventional energy source last content of such udana, that is known to be that ocean thermal energy conversion. I will tell you what is known to be that ocean thermal energy conversion. Now when we are discussing about ocean thermal energy conversion, you see this, now we are discussing about sea water, sea surface water, right? And below the level of sea water, okay? Now surface water, low level of sea water. Now when we are discussing the different levels of sea water, there might be difference of temperature. The difference of temperature is identified about 20 degrees centigrade. Generally ga mana sea levels మనం కంపేర్ చేస్తే సర్ఫేస్ వాటర్ కి నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్ కి టెంపరేచర్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఎంత ఉంటుందంటే 20 డిగ్రీ సెంటిగ్రేడ్ టెంపరేచర్ ఉంటుంది. అది మీరు మైండ్ లో గుర్తుంచుకోండి, ఓకే? నౌ there is a difference between a surface water is compared with the deeper in the sea level, the difference between the 20 degrees centigrade temperature. Now simple. Now using OTEC technique, I will tell you what is known to be the OTEC technique. OTEC is nothing but operating ocean thermal energy conversion. By using OTEC, now I would like to collect in the warm surface water. You see this, right? నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నానంటే వార్మ్ వాటర్ కలెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నానండి. Now we are collecting the warm water, and this warm water collected through OTEC technique, and it is converted into the steam, and the steam acting pressure on turbine, the steam acting pressure on the turbine, the amount of that ocean thermal energy, the amount of the ocean thermal energy in terms converting into that mechanical, and the mechanical energy in terms converting into that electrical. Simple. Let me see the diagrams. Just we are seeing this is known to be that ocean thermal energy. It is known to be that ocean thermal energy. When we are seeing that ocean thermal energy, which containing the two main parts. In OTEC conversion, it containing number one is known to be that evaporator, and number two is known to be that condenser. Now we are seeing it is known to be the sea levels, right? Which containing the sea level. The sea level containing surface water and the sea level containing warm water. Okay, surface water when compared with the next level of water. The next level of water containing the warm sea water, which containing the warm sea water. And this warm sea water which is collected through the evaporator ద్వారా మనం కనెక్ట్ చేద్దాం, and it is converting into the steam. Evaporator is converting into the steam, and the steam acting pressure on the turbine, I'm repeating, steam acting pressure on that turbine. When the turbines are rotated, I'm repeating, when the turbines are rotated, then simple what happens, then the sea energy, the warm energy is converting into the mechanical, the amount of the mechanical energy in terms converting into that electrical. Simple. The process now is working on abroad countries. ఇది కూడా మన ఇండియాలో వాడుతున్నారు కానీ తక్కువగా యూస్ చేస్తున్నారు. అబ్రాడ్ కంట్రీస్ లో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే సీ లెవెల్స్ లో ఉన్న డిఫరెంట్ టెంపరేచర్ నుంచి థర్మల్ ఎనర్జీని ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారండి. నేను మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను. The different sea levels, when we are compared with the upper level, when compared to the lower level, the top level containing the lower temperature and the bottom level containing the higher temperature. Now, the warm sea water, from the warm sea water, we are extracting the thermal energy. thermal energy is extracted by the evaporator converting the seawater into the steam, and the steam acting pressure on the turbine, and the turbines converting into the mechanical energy. Then the ocean thermal energy is converting into the mechanical energy. The amount of the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. Okay. After the completion of the process, now we are using condensers. Condensers decreasing the temperature of the water vapor. Now the steam is converting into the water condition, and again it come back to that original position. This means that the entire process should be a recycling process. I'm repeating. Okay. Then what is the main advantages of ocean thermal energy? Ocean thermal energy is also known to be that when we are discussing about ocean thermal energy, ocean thermal energy is also known to be that renewable energy sources which containing eco-friendly character. Okay. Then where we can convert the ocean thermal energy to the mechanical, and the mechanical energy in terms converting into the electrical. Right. Now, you see this. The efficiency of ocean thermal energy is very less efficiency. That means that the amount of thermal energy extracted during the process. Now, when we are discussing about the amount of thermal energy extracted during the process, the efficiency of ocean thermal energy is very less due to high capital cost, number one. Number two, the persistent maintenance. The way that we are extracting thermal energy from the ocean layer నుంచి thermal energy extract చేయడం అనేది tedious process కన్నా నేను మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను. So the process it is applied by many countries, but the cost of the process is very high, right? So దీన్ని ఒక ప్రాక్టికల్ పర్పస్ గా యూస్ చేస్తున్నారు కానీ కమర్షియల్ పర్పస్ గా యూస్ చేయట్లేదు. It's all about non conventional energy sources. నేను మీకు PPT షేర్ చేస్తాను.